What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Johnny K Picks. And in this video, I'll be going over my full card picks and predictions, along with my bets so far for UFC 306 or NOCHE, and that will be O'Malley versus Dvalishvili. Now, first things first, please hit that like button for me, subscribe if you're new, or if you just haven't yet, turn on those notifications so you know when I put out my videos, when we go live on Wednesday nights, when we do any live shows on the weekends. Definitely want to be notified for that. Leave some comments below on the fights that you're looking forward to. We have 10 fights this time, and it's a pretty solid card. So let me know how you did on the last card as well. And check out my Patreon, patreon.com/JohnnyKpicks. I put out all my early bets, my early picks, my UFC cheat sheets, all for $5.99 a month for the core members. Also do other bets. NFL just started back up. Put out a whole bunch of NFL bets, NCAA, college football bets. Soon NBA will be on. Soccer, footy, gonna be playing. We had a week off, so I'm gonna be doing more of those this week coming up. And yeah, so you can join for free as well. I do little games as well. I'm doing a NFL Survivor pool, so definitely. I know you probably can't get into it now because of the games, but you have until Monday night. So if you want to join in, go ahead. But yeah, last night was UFC Vegas 97, and it was a pretty decent card. I'll go over it real quick. I'm not going to spend a crazy amount of time because I was actually able to watch all the fights, but this isn't the right one. Here we are. Fletcher versus Ramaska. A good win from Fletcher. He looked a little scary in the beginning, but he was able to get those takedowns pretty easily and out grapple, which I kind of thought that was going to happen, but I was just a little scared about the staph infection. But guess what? It looked like did not bug him at all. So good win from him. Petrosky versus Buka. I guess Petrosky just doesn't want to finish people anymore. I'm going to be real. He just wants to go over there and out wrestle, out grapple, hold you down and win that way. Cool beans, but just know going forward, if you're ever going to bet Petrosky, do not bet inside the distance. Don't bet sub. Don't bet knockout. Just go decision because that's his style now. Good for him. He's getting the wins, but I don't like it. It's boring as shit. So being real. Next one, Amorim versus Demopoulos. What do you want to say? Amorim basically had her fingers in Demopoulos's gloves. Let's just put it out there. But let's not forget, Hughes had her fingers in Amorim's gloves too. So I feel like, she got a little bit, back there. I think she could have got a submission if Hughes wasn't able to get those fingers in there. But we'll see. I mean, it is what it is. Vanessa shouldn't have been complaining all that much and should have been worried about the armbar, but it was a little bit of cheating. But there was a lot of cheating going on in this card, and they didn't feel like doing anything about it. So, I mean, at least they were consistently bad. Gabriel Santos versus Yiza. Great performance from Santos. He almost got the knockout in the first round, but he just outworked him on the feet and actually got some good grappling going, too. He was the bigger fighter for sure. And Yiza couldn't do anything. He's a grappler, so he's not really that good of a striker. So good win from Santos. Lima versus Dos Santos. I mean, pretty decent fight. Lima won. Dos Santos, he kept just getting controlled and taken down by someone who's not really a wrestler or grappler, more so a striker. Not a good look. Yeah, we'll see what moving forward with Felipe. He's got some work to do. Lima's looking good, though. I will give him that. So Bulgarian versus Murat. We all thought this was going to happen, but we all thought it was going to be a lot earlier. So I'm sure it ruined everyone's under 1.5 parlay piece or Bulgarian round 1, whatever, or even Bulgarian knockout because he got a submission. So, but good win from him. He was able to outwork him for pretty much 10 minutes. Crazy stoppage here. Padilla versus Rongzhu. Crazy elbow from Padilla. Got the knockout and the doctor stopped it. So that was a good fight. Pretty decent fight until that happened. Well, I mean, I don't want to say that ruined it, but it was a good fight until the stoppage. So good win there. Ashmuz versus Peak kind of went down exactly how I thought it was going to. I wish I would have just bet the fight goes the distance, but I was scared. Both these guys are super durable, and they were able to outlast it. So, I mean, a little bit of a boring fight, not really crazy finishes going on there or potential finishes, but good win from Ashmuz. Durden versus Schnell, crazy first round, back and forth. And then all of a sudden, Schnell shot a takedown and Durden wrapped up the ninja choke, which was a good win. So Schnell looked like he retired. We didn't get to see it live, but I saw on Twitter afterwards that he put his gloves down and stuff like that. So good win from Durden. Crazy event. Again, I'm going to say this out loud. UFC does not care about cheating. Again, so this whole card had fence grabs galore, eye pokes galore, hits to the back, fingers in the gloves, no stern warnings even, and no points deducted especially. But you could say that Steve Garcia hit Kyle Nelson in the back of the head because you can clearly see the proof. He has a big knot and literally in the back of his head. But I want to just give a little bit of credit or leeway though with some fighters. When fighters are moving their heads and they're moving like this, I know it's a rule and you're not supposed to do it, but like, how are you supposed to not, like, when you're going for the finish, like, you're just thinking about one thing and you're really trying not to hit him in the back of the head. But if you keep moving your head like this and that and in and out, do this way, all things, like, it's going to happen. So unfortunately it happened here again. And, Cody Brundage was able to get a DQ. So it's just, there's just no consistency. We'll just get back to this. There's no consistency with the reffing or the UFC with all this stuff. But I got to go with what happened. It's a good win from Garcia. Was able to get that elbow at the very end, with clearly hurt Nelson. He gave up basically. So good win from Garcia. He's on a little run. Natalia Silva versus Andrade. Silva is very good. She can fight off her back foot. She's got good striking, good kicks, good cardio, very strong. She does have grappling, which we didn't really get to see again, but she was able to stuff all the takedowns. And I think she's going to be top 5. And I do think that she can potentially contend for the title here. Only going up for her. The only thing that I would say is I would like to see a little bit more finishes, but it's very hard in women's MMA to finish unless you have a very good submission game. So good win from Silva. And then we got Brady versus Gilbert Burns, which I did like what I saw from Brady. I did not like anything that I saw from Burns other than takedown defense. But even then, he was able to get taken down. It just seemed like he didn't really want to fight for whatever reason. And I had a bet on Gilbert Burns, so maybe I'm a little salty. But man, he did not want to initiate Brady at all. He was looking for literally the KO punch, and that's all he would throw. He wouldn't shoot any, or he wouldn't do any combos, no jet, like very little output. And all he was doing is getting controlled up against the cage. So I don't know, man. I think, the days of Gilbert Burns or betting Gilbert Burns or picking Gilbert Burns are over. And Brady, I like what I saw. 5 rounds, good, better striking. So I'll know moving forward who to pick and who not to pick. So there you go. For my bets or picks, I should say, I went 8-4. Bets not so well. Couple stupid bets, couple bets that just didn't go my way. Such as the under 1.5 in the Bulgarian fight. It did happen in the second round, but it snuck over the 1 or the 1.5. Petrosky had numerous opportunities to even just try for a finish, and he didn't even try at all. Demopoulos, there could have been some fingers in there, but hey, it is what it is. I lost that one. The one that really sucked to me, DeSantos wasn't the greatest bet, and Burns definitely wasn't the greatest bet either. So Bulgarian round 1, 2, I thought he was going to get it done, and he didn't. But I like the odds there. Took a chance, but it is what it is. Minus 2.05 units on the night. We'll bounce back on this one. That's okay. I made some stupid bets. I know moving forward, my strong suit, and I shouldn't be doing some of these plays that I'm doing. So I'm not going to try to be sneaky or try to be cute about it. I'm just going to stick to my guns in UFC 306, which we have 10 fights. Like I said, the first fight is going to be Raul Rosas Jr. versus Aoriqileng. Rosas Jr. is an amazing grappler. He likes to push forward. He's got good wrestling, good takedowns, relentless. Striking is still a work in progress, so that's something you got to see about. He's very young still. He's almost 20. He's 19. He'll be 20 in a month, it looks like, or less. And he does make mistakes from time to time, but again, super young. But he is a very good grappler. Aoriqileng is a good striker. He's got good power in his hands. He has decent volume, likes to push forward. His takedown defense isn't that great, and if he is taken down, he can be controlled. So this is what it is: grappler versus striker. And I'm going to go with Raul Rosas Jr., but I'm not super confident. I don't feel like I want to lay the minus 675, even though he probably will come in here and shoot takedowns galore and control Aoriqileng. But it just takes one good punch from Aori to land, and it could probably knock out Raul Rosas Jr. So scared about it. Maybe look at the unders under 2.5 and see what that's at. That's what I would go. I think Rosas Jr. can get a submission, and I think Aoriqileng can get a knockout. So I'll be looking at the unders when that comes out, but I'm not going to touch the money lines or anything like that. But give me Rosas Jr. to win by first or second round submission in this fight. It's pretty straightforward. It just depends on if you think Rosas Jr. can out grapple him or you think Aori can get a knockout. But I'm going to go with out grapple. Next fight, we got, why did it jump on me? There we go. We got Edgar Chairez versus Joshua Van. Joshua Van is taking this fight on somewhat of short notice. I believe it's like a week and a half, maybe 2 tops, but not super crazy. Chairez, though, he's a solid striker. He's got good power. He's very durable. He likes to push forward. His takedown defense, though, isn't all that great, but he doesn't really have to worry about it in this fight. He does have good, solid scrambles if he's taken down in decent grappling and submissions, as we saw in his last fight against Daniel Lacerda. Joshua Van, very good boxer, very good striking, good combos, good power in his hands as well. Likes to push forward, throws tons of volume. He can get rocked a couple times. We did see Charles Johnson. He was looking pretty good until he wasn't. And a couple of these other fights, he was getting rocked too, but he like I say, he's durable. Unfortunately, he did get knocked out to Charles Johnson in his last fight, which I'll be honest, I think that was Charles Johnson's first knockout in the UFC. So I don't know how good of a look that was, to be honest, but it is what it is. But he, like I said, not really a huge grappler, Joshua, but he can if need be, and he does have good takedown defense. So I think this fight's going to play out on the feet. And if that happens, man, this is such a weird fight. I know Joshua Van's very good. He is taking this fight on short notice. He is super young, but Chairez is not terrible at all. I'm going to go with Van, though. I just like his technical boxing. I think it's going to be a very close fight either way. I don't see a finish. Maybe look at the overs again in this fight, but give me Van to win a very close decision. I do see he is the underdog, which is I don't mind taking a shot on this. I don't mind the short notice for Joshua Van. I'll be honest when I say that. So also too, Chairez does miss weight a lot. So maybe wait and see what he looks like on the scales. But man, a lot of people are picking Van here too. He's the dog. So I'm just going to go with a better striker overall, and that's going to be Joshua Van. But I think Chairez has a shot to win this fight too. So we'll see what happens. I don't mind the plus 135. I'm going to take a bet on that right now. I didn't know that. Next one's going to be Yasmin Jauregui versus Ketlin Souza. And let's see. Let me get here. Hold on 1 second. I clicked off my thing and it just doesn't feel like working. There we go. Jauregui, though, very, very good striker, very good combos, likes to push forward, throw tons of volume. Pretty decent takedown defense and grappling if she is taken down, but she is definitely a striker. But the only thing about her, though, is she does leave herself open for counters and she can get rocked and dropped. So that's something to think about, but I think she'll be okay in this fight against Souza, who's a pretty good striker herself. Likes to push forward. She does have decent power in her hands. She can also grapple and wrestle, but she mainly wants to keep it on her feet. So this probably will stay on the feet unless somebody gets rocked. And I got to go with Yasmin here. I think she's the way better striker. The only thing that would worry me a little bit is if Souza just catches her, maybe with a good counter that Yasmin doesn't see and knocks her down or knocks her out. Other than that, I think Yasmin pretty much cruises here. She is going to be the better striker, more technical, and throw more volume with the quicker hands. So not a lot to say other than that. I'll say by decision, and yeah, we'll go from there. So give me Yasmin to win by decision. I'm pretty confident in this one. Next one's going to be banger for however long it lasts, if you want to say. We got Manel Torres versus Ignacio Bahamondes, and Bahamondes is one of those bugaboo fighters that when you bet and or pick kind of just does the opposite. But let's go over this real quick. Torres, very, very solid and dangerous striker, has great power in his hands, good elbows, pretty good submissions, as well as we saw in his last fight. He was able to wrap up the rear naked choke on Duncan, mainly a club and sub, if you want to say so. He does have that option. He can get a little wild at times. He does have good knees and good kicks. The one little question mark, man, it's just we just don't know his cardio after a round. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know if this went to decision or not. 8, 9. So let's just say it's been about 5 to 6 years since he's been out of round one. And so that's the one little worry for me about him. But Ignacio, he's a solid striker himself. He throws tons of volume too. He's got very good kicks. He's going to have a little bit of a reach advantage too. He's got pretty, you know what, his takedown defense is not pretty good at all. Actually, it's not great. He does have sneaky subs as well. As we saw in the Wrong Zoo fight, he was able to wrap up one. But this guy's, you know, he's doing what he needs to do, if you want to say. But sometimes his game plans going out there, especially against Ludovic Klein, like that was just a crazy, weird game plan that he had. But he was able to, you know, beat Christos Giago, so he should have knocked him out, and he did, so that's good. But he is pretty durable. He does get hit a lot, and he does have good cardio. So this is a close fight, I think, and I think it can go either way. I think the longer it goes, it might favor Bahamondes, but I think early on, Torres is going to be dangerous live, and Bahamondes is very, very hittable. So I'm going to roll the dice, and I'm going to go with Torres to win. I think he can get that knockout early, and if he doesn't get a knockout early, I think he can potentially win a decision. I think he can win the first 2 rounds. I just don't trust Bahamondes yet. I really don't. And even though like I said, he's got some pretty good wins over here, and he's beating the guys that he should. But man, I just, for whatever reason, I just don't know if he's there yet. Maybe he still needs to, you know, work on his game a little bit, game planning especially. But I'm going to roll the dice with El Loco. I'm going to go with Torres to win by first or second round finish. I'll say knockout, but wouldn't shock me if Bahamondes, you know, survives the first round and a half, and then maybe he takes over and wins decision. So just going to go with the more dangerous guy, even though I think Bahamondes is kind of dangerous too, but Torres is definitely like a Steve Garcia kind of dangerous. So Torres by I'll just say by first or second round finish, but I'll say knockout if I had to choose one. Next one's going to be Irene Aldana versus Norma Dumont. Interesting fight. This fight will be at bantamweight. Aldana normally fights at flyweight. Aldana's a very good boxer. She's got good combos, pretty good volume. Her takedown defense is just okay. We've seen her get taken down pretty decent amount of times, especially against Macy Chiazon. She was losing that fight until she got that liver up kick. Even the Carol Hosa fight was pretty close. Like a lot of her fights, like she's been fighting very close. Trying to think of some other fights that I watched here. Yeah, like a lot of these fights that I'm just looking back. Some of these wins are very close. Like, or she was losing and then she kind of won at the end. But she's very solid, like I said. Not really a grappler. She's a very good boxer. Dumont, more well-rounded for sure. Pretty solid striking, good boxing, good combos, good striking defense. She doesn't really get hit too much. Good wrestling and grappling if she gets the takedown, which I think she can get some takedowns in this fight. She's kind of lacks the finishing ability, and that's her one little bugaboo, if you want to say, but she's very solid everywhere. Good cardio, durable too. So loving the overs in this fight, but I am just ever so slightly leaning Dumont, and that could bite me in the butt, if you want to say, but Dumont, I think just Dumont's going to work some grappling and wrestling. I don't think it's just going to be an all-out striking fight. If it is, I do favor Aldana, but I don't think Dumont's like a fish out of water on the feet and she's going to get pieced up or anything like that. She does have pretty good striking, and where she excels is when she mixes in the striking and the grappling and the wrestling, or even when she holds up Aldana against the cage, because Dumont's going to be the stronger fighter for sure, I think. Even though she does, you know, she's going to be a little bit shorter with a little bit of less reach, but I think overall, Dumont's going to be a little bit stronger, especially when it gets on top. Like, I don't see Aldana getting back up, let's be honest. So, also, Aldana is 36 years old now. She's getting a little bit older. So, give me Dumont to win. I'm going to say by decision. I think this fight goes over 9 out of 10 times. You can even say 9.5 out of 10 times. I don't see a finish in this fight whatsoever. So, give me the dog here. I'll roll the dice with Dumont. Main card opener, which is a little interesting for one. Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Ode Osbourne. Rodriguez is a pretty good striker. He's got decent power. He likes to push forward. He is a little hittable on the feet, though, but he is very durable. He does have a pretty decent ground game, but he wants to keep it on the feet. And Osbourne, he's getting up there. Well, I shouldn't even say he's getting up there. It feels like he's like 35 years old, but he's only 32. But he's been getting finished left and right. He's been getting pretty much out grappled by the last 2 fights. That Charles Johnson fight was very close. So, but like I said, he's a pretty good striker. He's got good power in his hands. He does fade as the fight goes on. He has shown that a little bit of wrestling here and there as of late, but he does fade though especially if he uses more wrestling, he will fade quicker. And he's a little hittable too, and I don't really trust his chin all that much, but it's not like a Matt Schnell level, so I wouldn't worry too much. But this is a close fight, man, and I keep going back and forth with this one. I do want to pick Osbourne, but for some reason, like I don't know if I'm there yet. I'm debating right now. I'm thinking about it. You know what? I'm gonna roll the dice. I'm gonna go with Osbourne. I'm gonna do it. I think he does do well in the first round, and I just don't think Rodriguez is all that great, to be honest. I'm not saying Osbourne is better, but I think he's fought the better competition. I think he can mix in some wrestling and grappling and take down Rodriguez. In the Bondar fight, Bondar was able to get some takedowns early, I believe, and hold him down until he gassed out basically. And Osbourne, like I said, I think he's dangerous on the feet, and I'm gonna give him one more chance. So give me Osbourne. Why not? I think it's a close fight. I'm gonna go with the experience. I think he's a little bit more dangerous as well, and I just think Rodriguez is just a little bit too hittable. So give me Osbourne to win. It might be a sloppy decision, like I'm not gonna lie, but I don't think Osbourne is gonna be able to get him out of there per se, if you want to say. So yeah, Osbourne by decision. I'm gonna roll with it. I don't know if I like it, but I'm gonna roll with it. Next one's gonna be a fun fight: Daniel Zellhuber versus Esteban Ribovics. And Zellhuber is a very, very technical striker with good power in his hands. He's got good straights, good takedown defense, good kicks, knees, elbows. The one fight where he lost, his only loss, he just looked like a fish out of water. It was his UFC debut, and he maybe a little bit gun shy, but these next 3 wins have looked very, very good. He kind of fought someone very similar to Esteban Ribovics, and that is Francisco Prado. So if you don't know who either of these 2 guys are, Ribovics or Prado, I'm not saying they're kind of the same because they're both Argentinian, but they do have the same style. And Zellhuber was able to touch up Prado all fight, and that's something I like in that fight. Ribovics, though, very good striker. He's got very good power in his hands. He likes to push forward. He does have okay grappling, and if he is taken down, he has a good get up game. But he's a striker. He's not gonna try to do anything crazy. And his takedown defense isn't all that great, and he can be taken down. But he does have a good. He can scramble his way back up, and he does have a good get up game. But this fight's gonna play out on the feet. There's a crazy 8-inch reach advantage for Zellhuber. He does stay at range very well, and I got to go with Zellhuber here. I think he gets this one done. I'm not sure if he gets a finish, but I know he's going to be outstriking Ribovics. Ribovics will always be live for a knockout, but Zellhuber has taken some pretty good shots from Prado. He was able to stand up and stay up. So I think he can do the same here with Ribovics. So give me Zellhuber to win. I'm going to say by decision. I don't think Ribovics is going to get knocked out. This is going to be a very good fight. So maybe look at the overs. This kind of reminds me of like Peak versus Ashmus from last card. Like both these guys are very durable, and I just don't see, like, they're both dangerous but very durable, and I just don't see a finish happening. So maybe look at the overs in this one. And but give me Zellhuber to win, and I'm going to say by decision. Let's go. Next one, Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopes. This fight was supposed to happen like, 4 times ago. I don't know, maybe like 4 cards ago. I can't remember. It was supposed to happen a while ago. Anyways, Ortega, though, he missed weight and he was supposed to fight, and then right before the fights happened, I think the fight was canceled for whatever reason. But Ortega's a very good grappler, as we all know. He's got very good submissions. His striking is just okay. He is very hittable on the feet. Takedowns aren't super amazing, but if he does get you down, it's very hard to get up. But luckily for Diego, he is a very good grappler himself, but he is also a very dangerous striker. He has very good uppercuts and power in his hands. If this fight does get to the mat, he has very good scrambles. His takedown defense isn't all that great, but he does have a pretty good get-up game. And like I said, good reversals, good scrambles. So this fight might be fun on the mat. But if this fight plays out on the feet, I love me some Lopes, and I'm still going to pick Lopes. I picked him before. I'm going to pick him again. I think Lopes wins. I'm not sure if there's a finish. I'll say decision. I do think Ortega is very tough and durable. I don't think he's going to get submitted. It's just the knockout. And honestly, the only knockout was against Yair, but that was an injury. And I don't think I guess Holloway was able to knock him out, but that was 5 years ago. And also another thing too with Ortega, like, he just really hasn't fought all that much. Like, yeah, it took 2 years, and then he fought that one crazy little weird fight against Yair. Yair, he kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to go back into the fight. That was stupid, but it is what it is. Give me Lopes to win. I just think he's more dangerous on the feet, and I think this fight will mainly play out on the feet too. And I think Lopes can win a couple rounds on the feet. Ortega's chance, I think, is going to be on the mat, but Diego is very, very dangerous on the mat himself too. So going to go with Lopes to win by decision. We got the co-main event, third time's a charm. Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko. Now, full disclosure, I picked Shevchenko both times. I believe this fight is 1-1. This fight should not have been a draw. Grasso did not win the 5th round 10-8. That was ridiculous. But you can also argue that, maybe there was a couple other rounds that Grasso won that Valentina won, blah, blah, blah. But what the deciding factor was the 10-8 that some rando judge gave Grasso made this a draw, and it should have been Valentina by split. But let's get over that. But Grasso's a very good boxer. Decent grappling and sneaky submissions, as we saw in their first fight. She was able to take the back of Valentina and get the submission. She has good volume. She's very durable, good cardio as well. Shevchenko is a very good kickboxer, very technical, very good kicks, very good, striking as well. Good solid wrestling, good takedowns, pretty decent, control if she does get on top. And she's durable and good cardio herself. The only thing is she's getting a little older. She's 36 years old now. This fight was supposed to, they fought about a year ago. So I don't know if that favors one or the other, or not. But very close fight. I think it's close to a pick'em. But again, I'm going to ride with Valentina. I rode with her the last 2 times. I'm going to ride with her again. I think this fight will be close again, to be honest. And I think the better play would be just playing the over 4.5 or fight goes to distance. I think this fight goes to distance. I don't see a finish from either fighter. It's going to be back and forth. It's going to be very close, and there might be some crazy judging decision again here. So I'm not going to risk it, betting aside. So I'm going to maybe play the over. So give me Shevchenko to win a very close decision again. I think this will be very close. Both fighters are very evenly matched, and they both go, they're both durable. So the only time that there was a finish, Grasso was able to just jump on the back of Valentina, and she had no answer. That was a good move. Don't get me wrong. But I don't see that happening again. I think this fight will go to decision and then finally end this freaking Moreno versus Figueredo war of whatever they got going on. So they can move on to the next challenger of that weight class. And we got the main event. We got Sean O'Malley versus Merab Dvalishvili. And we all know both these guys. O'Malley is a very good striker with good kicks. He's got good 1-2s down the middle with good power. His takedown defense isn't the greatest, which does little, obviously it's going to worry you if you are on the O'Malley side, but he does have a pretty good get up game. So that does help out Merab when he does get all those takedowns and he can get 50 takedowns in a fight. He just doesn't control his opponents on the mat. They always get back up, even though Merab, can probably get him back down, but they always get back up again. But we've also seen O'Malley slow down a little bit if he's been, out, if he's being wrestled and taken down too. But this is a 5-round fight. We'll see what happens. Dvalishvili is a very good wrestler, very good takedowns. Like I said, amazing cardio, amazing pace. His striking isn't, the greatest. He does use his striking to set up all of his takedowns, but he does have some power in his hands if he does land. So, Sean has to be a little bit worried about the overhand right into the takedown. That's all he has to really worry about. But Sean's a sniper, man. He's going to have a 4-inch reach, 5-inch height advantage. He's going to be long. It's going to be hard to keep down. I think his get-up game is good. And I think it's only going to maybe take one punch to just rock Merab. We saw Merab get rocked a couple times, especially in the Marlon Moraes fight. So, again, I think how this fight goes down is probably O'Malley by KO or it's going to be Merab by decision. So, think of it the way that, can O'Malley win a decision? Sure, he can win a decision if he's doing more damage. Maybe he gets a knockdown in one round and he wins that round, but it has to be doing more damage. And Merab doesn't do damage. He's just basically he's gonna take down, to hold you up, hold you down, get you up against the cage, take down. He doesn't really do a lot of damage, but that's where I can maybe see something crazy happening with the judging scoring where Sean wins a round when you're like, he only landed like 4 good shots. Well, that's all you need when damage overtakes, everything else. But anyways, we'll go from there. For my pick, I'm going to ride with Sean O'Malley. He's the champion. I think he can snipe Merab at one point, maybe just rock him enough to just, get the finish, and maybe the ref stops it a little early or something like that. But I don't want to, it's just a very tough fight to call, and what's going to happen, but you just don't know what's going to, it's hard to pick a side when O'Malley is a sniper and Merab is just a chain wrestler, and you always want to probably pick Merab, but I'm going to go with Sean O'Malley. I have a feeling that he gets this one done. I'm going to say by probably first, second, or third round knockout. I don't think it's going to be later in the fight. So O'Malley's going to have to do very good early on and maybe just survive the last couple rounds and see what happens. Also, too, I forgot to mention, we have seen some pictures on Twitter and Instagram of Merab potentially maybe having staph infection or getting over it, if you want to say. So I don't know how that's going to play in a part. I'm not taking that into consideration for my pick. I'm still picking O'Malley, and I'm going to say by knockout, even though it's probably not going to happen, but I'm going to go by knockout. But that is it. Just 10 fights, guys. Usually we see 12 or 13 fights on a pay-per-view. Not this time. 10 fights only. So appreciate everybody for watching. Hit the like button for me on your way out. Defend Your Units Wednesday night live show will be on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Saturdays, we're starting to do, me and Cody, pre-fight live shows, so definitely tune in there, usually 2 hours before the fight start. So we'll be live again this Saturday, 2 hours before it starts. And yeah, that's all I got for you. Happy fight night. Hope everybody enjoys this one. It's pretty decent, like I said, pretty decent card. I think it'll be good. So take care. Good luck to your bets, and see you next time.